everyone. Welcome into another episode of Game Day Tarps. Today, Dallas and we're going to do a little CHL preseason roundup, everything that's been going on in the preseason, and so much more. The offseason brought a lot of new changes to the CHL, even a couple of new franchises, one over in Newfoundland, another over in Penticton. And Dallas, I believe there's going to be another one soon in the dub, right? Chilliwack?
Yeah, you are correct, Daeden. Chilliwack right now currently has a BCHL franchise called the Chilliwack Chiefs, but the WHL will be expanding for the 2026-2027 season, and yet there is a name and identity to be determined as of now. But we do know that it is confirmed that Chilliwack will be getting a Western Hockey League expansion.
Chilliwack and Penticton, or Chilliwack and another city were very close. Am I correct? Like another city that already has a team, and I think that's why it was kind of held off for a bit, was because like there was some dispute on like the fans, because I know in the CHL there's limits around like where your fans are, and like the teams have like certain like
Yeah,
rights
that
in those
that
areas.
Yes, and that's what you would call territorial rights. Exactly. Like this was the whole thing that John Keane brought up to us almost a year ago on our show that, the Kelowna Rockets and the Penticton Thieves were in mutual understanding that Penticton, if and when they did come into the WHL, that they would be having to pay a territorial fee to the league. Now, because Penticton and Kelowna are so close in proximity, this would also incur with Chilliwack being in close proximity to Langley, where the Vancouver Giants currently play. So that definitely plays a huge factor, but it is definitely good to see the WHL coming back to Chilliwack. We saw the Bruins there before, so I'm wondering if they're going to go back to the Bruins identity or something totally new that they could collab with. But it's definitely exciting to see. I'm definitely like curious to see asking the CHL president if he would see more of this happening more often, right? So we've had three confirmations of three different cities, all in just an off or not, I wouldn't say off season, sorry, but just in the last year alone, getting a new franchise, right? So like, there was some rumors. Obviously, it wasn't true, but some of the USHL teams might exile to the OHL, but of course that never happened. They were very committed to staying in the USHL, which good on them. Very good franchises to keep there. For anyone that doesn't know, the USHL is definitely a premier destination in the United States for junior hockey. Kind of just a mirror image of what we have up here in Canada of the CHL. So I don't know. And then we're definitely getting the regiment this season. Clean tarps, beautiful, beautiful.
The logo, it's amazing. It's
Oh,
another news. It's
the whole kit's amazing.
It's now the second, along with the moose heads, of course, the second moose logo in the QMJHL.
I'm kind of thinking, right? Because like there are some teams that are going to be unveiling some new third alternate jerseys this year, and I'm kind of curious to see if Newfoundland will jump on the same wagon here and unveil a third identity soon. You never know, right? Like they could go with an all red jersey, which would be kind of cool with that logo. But just all in
No,
all,
I think you have to go. I know they do white, for their like their secondary color, but I think what would be sick is a beige, like a beige, maroon, and blue, like the
okay.
two other colors that they have, and or a burgundy jersey, like the maroon, burgundy maroon, whatever you want to call it. That color, like the tertiary color, as their main color for their third jersey, would be kind of sick. Now, the team that I'm kind of excited for the most, the Moncton Wildcats, are in their 30th anniversary season. What that means? More sick jerseys, or at least one, because last year they kind of brought in the black cat scratch jersey. Yeah, I think it's one of the best in the CHL. I think it really is. Penticton, Newfoundland, Halifax, and Moncton's, like the Halifax red 94s are like amazing. If anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, shout out Brady Schultz, friend of the show. Uh, yeah, I think they're sick.
Keeping it to the 90s though too, Dayton. It was just actually announced today that Brandon The Brandon Wheat Kings of the WHL will be going back to their 1990s retro logo starting this season. Now, obviously, a beautiful, beautiful logo, but honestly, the way I see it is that Brandon has definitely changed their identity a lot over the years. I don't know if anyone out there or even you, Dave, really like keeps a keen eye on it, but like they've been changing their jersey kits and their logos like quite frequently within the last decade. So
Do you?
it's definitely weird, but I like it. It's gonna be good, but I don't know why they choose to keep changing it up. I just
I
don't.
actually didn't like the. I understood it, right? Like back when it was when we were probably like, I guess you're 2 years older than me, but 3 years older than me now. Uh, let's say NHL 12 to 14, Brandon Wheat Kings, the yellow, white, uh, black, very Boston Bruins esque, or
Yeah,
like Estevan Bruins kind of deal. Shout out to Estevan and the SJ. But yeah, like I didn't really like those jerseys. I like the new ones that they have now. Like they're more modern. There's less. I shouldn't say less going on, but the colors fit more. The yellow's not like as in your face. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. It's more of like so what they have been running with now for the last couple of seasons was like an all blackout jersey with kind of like that just nice hint of yellow outlining the Brandon Wheat Kings logo. But the ones that were really stand out to me that I wish they'd bring back was the Mark Stone and Nolan Patrick era jerseys, where it just had the big B right here with like a bread and said Wheat Kings and a banner. It was really nice. If any of you guys know what I'm talking about, those were some clean tarps.
Yeah, it was in like little rectangles right here, kind of like. Or am I thinking of a different jersey?
It kind of to me like it looked like almost like a loaf of bread with a black bee in it, right? Yellow loaf of bread, black bee, but also kind of going off of what you were saying too, Day, like that kind of NHL 12 days. I've seen what Brandon used to have, like my favorite iteration of what the Wheat Kings do for their jersey kit is having the wheatgrass strands just go down the arm. Now that is extremely unique, and I really like that. I wish they would have kept that, but and they also had it at the bottom crest as well, which was pretty freaking clean.
Oh, okay, here it is. I think that was a definitely it's yellow and black. They wore it when they won. So that means it's something, but it probably was a third jersey, maybe.
Yeah, I think it may have been an alternate jersey, but I again like that's just something they should have implemented full time. Like that was just way too clean not to keep in rotation,
Because
right?
the black ones that Nolan Patrick is wearing in the pictures that I'm looking at right now, it's the black jersey, stripes down, and then the stripes on the sleeve right here. The stripes turn into like wheat.
Yeah, those are so nice.
Sick.
So nice. Um, Windsor is also having its 50th anniversary this year. I haven't seen anything about them wearing a special patch for the 40th anniversary, or sorry, the
Brother, which one is it?
oh sorry, the
50th?
50th. Sorry, let me backtrack. The 50th anniversary is this year. Sorry, I was thinking of the 40th one that I have currently, but the 50th one, I don't know if they're
That
going to
one?
unveil a special logo or a special jersey to go with it. No, it is my James Jodwen 75th anniversary or even 40th anniversary one. I don't know. It's so confusing sometimes because the Spitfires were split back in the day, right? So, like, way, way, way back, the Erie Otters used to be the original Windsor Spitfires Hockey Club. And then back in the 70s, the Spitfires were born again. So, either way you look at it, Windsor has had a team for like the last 80 years now. But the current iteration of the franchise has been around for about 50 years. So, I don't know.
Right on, right on. Learning something new every day. What kind? Like, what jersey is that? Is that your Taylor Hall jersey?
This one here.
Yeah.
Nope, that's just a jersey that I have on the wall. It's just got the 10th year anniversary of the WFCU Center, and then just the Memorial Cup patch of when we hosted in 2017. But that was their then alternate jersey that they unveiled.
I do like that one. I remember when they did come out with that one.
Oh yeah, the W is just classic. But I always loved the tombstone jersey for the Windsor Spitfires. That was always clean, and then the patch that they used to have on their shoulders used to be a Spitfire plane, like kind of like flying low,
I
and have the
remember. I
ambassador
remember.
bridge. That is see, and I wish more teams would implement that, like really just scream your identity of where you're playing, right? Like really represent the city. And actually, side note, the NBA does a really good job with that. Actually, guys, like just really identifying the identity and being proud of where you play, and they really implement that with the jerseys that they always bring out every year. The MLB has also implemented that now with their City Connect jerseys. Shout out to the MLB. Wow, they really just smashed it out of the park with the jerseys that they've been coming out for all 30 MLB teams each year.
Mine's upstairs. I kind of wish I. Oh, nah, it's okay. Everyone knows what it looks like. I have a. Oh, but then I have the other one. It's either way. They still know what it looks
You're
like.
talking about the Toronto Blue Jays City
I'm
Connects, right?
talking about the Toronto Blue Jays City Connects Friday
See,
night at the Rogers Center, dude. Uh I have just like a no name City Connect jersey, but then I went to a game. You got like a free. It was a giveaway night. It's a Vladimir Guerrero. Is it Guerrero? It's either Guerrero or Bichette. It might be Bichette, but it's like the City Connect jersey. But then I don't know why I try to keep talking, putting my mic down. That's terrible. But it has the red sleeves and a red hood, but it's connected to the jersey, and I think it's sick.
oh
It's just
yeah,
one size fits all was all 40,000 in the arena, and mine's just way too big for me because I'm a
Ye- oh
skinny
yeah.
little twig.
I just like how they implemented the red and the blue stripes to outline this Toronto skyline. Like that's just so well done. Great job on the creators, decisions to go with that. I'm a Tigers fan. I really liked when they came out with their Motor City Connect jerseys. Having Motor City across the chest, with the 313 patch on the shoulders. That was really good. Um, I'm hoping that maybe within a season or two that maybe both Toronto and Detroit get a second one now because I've noticed that the Astros have gotten two by now, so it'd be kind of cool. But going back to the CHL,
Well, hold on. Before we go back to the CHL, we were talking about jerseys and we're talking about other sports. What's your favorite NFL jersey? Because I feel like sometimes people have different opinions, and I do have kind of a different opinion than most people. I don't like the way NFL jerseys look unless you are the Seattle Seahawks highlighter green or you are the Tennessee Titans and you have that baby blue, sexy baby blue with the red and the like it's those colors just oh, they're so nice.
okay, I'll give you one because it's so hard to identify which one would be my absolute favorite. But I have a Jamal Adams Seattle Seahawks jersey, and it's just an all highlighter yellow green. That one's really awesome. It's a really good jersey. I also love when Detroit used to have just their little bit of a darker shade of blue, with the gray stripes on the shoulder, said Lions here, and then WCF on this shoulder, like that. All time favorite jerseys of mine. I think that would be. I got a Luke Wilson one on the wall actually just behind me
Luke
here to my
Wilson,
left.
like the guy that's on
Windsor boy.
TSN. The guy
Yeah,
that's on
yeah,
TSN.
yeah. He was actually played for the Seahawks and the Lions, and shout out to him. He's from Windsor too, my hometown. So
Right on, right on. Well, I guess yeah, I can't say anything. I don't really know much about the NFL. It's not really my place to talk. Even though I did two NFL shows today, and I probably couldn't tell you that much. But what I can tell you,
you're missing out.
I know. Okay, shut up, Dallas. I'm getting into it a little bit. What I can tell you after today. Sorry, people, if you're listening to the CHL, just skip ahead like 30 seconds. We'll get there. Uh, what I could tell you is that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs might be frauds this year.
Oh,
Oh yeah, Justin Herbert, the Gazelle.
see, and who says no? Who says no to this Super Bowl matchup? Detroit versus Buffalo. We all want to see it, right? We want to see Josh Allen finally make it out of the AFC conference and get to the Super Bowl. Detroit was so close 2 seasons ago, but they got thwarted by the 49ers in the last quarter, which we will not talk about. But who says no? Like, is that not a dream matchup right now in the NFL? Like, that would be amazing, right? Like, new flavor finally, right? Like, we're not going to see the same teams again winning it all, going back to the big show. Like, I would love to see a Detroit Buffalo Super Bowl this year. What about you, Day?
I'll give you one real quick, and then we'll get back to the CHL talk. Green Bay, Buffalo, or Green Bay, Baltimore. Good night. All right, fellas, we're back with the CHL talk. Let's go to the OHL for a second, Dally. Let's talk about this for a sec. The London Knights, they've kind of been the team to beat in the OHL for the past number of years. We know that. It's very clear. Where do they stand this year? Because they don't have Easton Cowan. They're definitely not getting Sam Dickinson. He's going to
Well,
be with the Sharks.
here's my thoughts about the London Knights, real quick, and
And real quick, I did see friend of the show, Austin Elliott, at UMass Lowell training camp. Some videos of him looked good.
of
But
course, yeah,
another guy that's not with the Knights.
yeah, because he was going to be an overager. Big loss to the Knights goaltending, but they got
Medvedev.
Medvedev,
Medvedev.
Medvedev.
Gotcha. There you go.
Sorry, everybody. That was a little
Russian
bit of
with
a tongue
Daeden.
twister. No, but the London Knights, I still think they're a middle pack team in the West this year, right? Like they still got a lot of uh, core pieces. William Nichols, Sam O'Reilly's coming back. They got an up and coming star in their system that will be there too. He was at training camp. Logan Howery, wow, yeah, he's showing out big time, and he could be a big piece to that London Knights core this season for the forward group. But I mean, maybe we could see London being some sellers this year. I mean, they've obviously, went out and bought a lot the last 2 seasons for back-to-back OHL championships, and I really think that London may just well be sellers. I mean, a guy like William Nichols or even Sam O'Reilly could be on the move. I know a lot of teams could be calling the hunters on them, especially asking for their talents. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't see London definitely being a basement dweller, nor do I see them at the top. But I truly believe that they could be just a middle pack kind of team this year.
Definitely. Now, I look at the OHL and I see two teams. Kind of, I see Brantford on one side, friend of the show, Spencer Hyman and Reed Duthie and Jake O'Brien, all the guys over there, and one more friend of the show from the Brantford Bulldogs coming soon. If you guess it down in the comments, we will subscribe to you, but we can't give it away. But Dallas, those guys have told us all about the Brantford Bulldogs, and they've kind of shown that they've built a strong team here this offseason. They've brought in Ryder Bolton. He definitely a guy that can muck it up. Uh, like I don't see a reason that Ryerson Leanders as well. Actually, he can make a good push to be one of the top goalies in the OHL, but I don't see a reason why this Brantford team can't go for it all.
Well, Brantford knew exactly what they were doing when they were getting into the Ryerson Leanders trade out of Brampton, right? Jack Ivankovic was obviously taking the crease full time, and Brantford kind of took the opportunity to say, "Hey, we could use your talents here as a starter in Brantford." Now, Brantford definitely would be the top dog in the East, in my opinion, for the 25-26 season. Friend of the show, Jake O'Brien, is going to have a monstrous season. He's definitely going to crack 100 points this year. There's no question. He had 98 last season. But definitely, I'm kind of thinking it's going to be a 2022 OHL Finals rematch, guys. Heading over to the West, we have the Windsor Spitfires, who is just all gas, no brakes, right? The big question coming out of training camp is, will Ilya Protes come back for a sophomore season? Will Hershey send him back? That's a big question, right? He scored 50 goals his first OHL season, right? From coming overseas. Like that's amazing. Probably the steal of the CHL import draft, would you say, Daeden? Like, I know we had Matt Van Gridden lead it off for Valdor, first overall, and then we had, the Kamloops Blazers play or select Vit Sahayski and then Windsor at 3 with Ilya Protes. Like, just really showcased that last year CHL import draft, and I'm really confident that this could be Windsor's year. Bill Bowler, GM of the Windsor Spitfires, I know he's trying to go all out We've seen him make big splashes before with getting Shane Wright a couple seasons ago. Like, he's not afraid to pull the trigger on some of these big splashes. So, I mean, Windsor's got probably the best U18 core, forward core, sorry, out of the OHL, right? Like, you got Jake Nesbitt now that just got drafted to Philly. Ethan Belchet's possibly a top five, definitely a top five pick in this year's draft for 2026. So, like, like there's no stopping Windsor and there's no stopping Brantford. I think they both could have it locked down.
Yeah, I think Windsor's a good pick. I like the way that Ethan Belchitz kind of just tore it up at the Holinka. He's coming back, and like you said, the import draft. Gridden went before Protest did, but to be honest, I don't think that Gridden really had this, and Zahaski as well, didn't have the same like production because they weren't on as good of teams, I will say, as the Windsor Spitfires are. Valdorfer and the Kamloops Blazers, obviously, both kind of middle of the pack in their respective leagues. But Protoss, he was kind of able to, even though he was on a good team, he was able to to elevate that good team to be a great team and put up 50 goals in the O. I gotta say, he might be a better overall pick from the import draft than Graydon was.
Yeah, and it's honestly quite surprising that he didn't go first overall. I'm sure he definitely is like surprised a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. Like it's crazy because both him and Liam Greentree, captain of Windsor, this are the Windsor Spitfires. Both of them cracked 120 plus points last season, right? And if Protest does come back, and when he does, like they're gonna do it again, right? They're just gonna show that Windsor has one of the best forwards in the entire league. Like, and then you got guys like JC Lemieux, and then you got guys like Ethan Belchetz, as you just alluded to, AJ Spalacy coming back as well. Like, watch out. And then whoever Bill decides to add, right? Like at the deadline, like if it could be a guy like Sam O'Reilly, right? You just never know. Like, do you think Brantford could really compete with a core like that? But Matvey Gridden, though, he definitely went over to Shawinigan, played on, I think, a little bit more of a competitive team than what Valdor had to offer. And then Vitsahaski, unfortunately, he was injury prone for a big, big chunk of this season for the Blazers. So he didn't really get to showcase most of his talents, but it's definitely going to be very exciting here in Kamloops to see him play a full season with the Blazers, hopefully. So, yeah.
All right, well, since we're on the topic of the Blazers, you guys out in Kamloops, what are your expectations for the Blazers in this WHL season?
I'd say personally, an expectation is definitely be sellers, right? We lost a big chunk. I know we go around and round with this merry-go-round with trade talks in the past with the Blazers and how they just went too far and too deep with that Owen Zellweger trade, right? I mean, Everett still has your first-round picks for the next 2 years, right? Uh, so it's gonna be hard. Like, could you see a guy like Harrison Brunick be dealt at the trade deadline? Possibly. It's definitely a big possibility. Could a team like Kelowna, who's hosting the Memorial Cup this year, go in on him? Probably. I think Bruce Hamilton definitely could be eyeing him up. Get a great defenseman to pair up with Mazden Leslie, uh, defenseman for the Kelowna Rockets there. So I don't know. Like the Blazers have a lot of questions. They're still definitely competitive, right? They got a lot of heart and hustle still on this team. It's great to see. But I think the Blazers definitely need to recoup definitely some lost assets. They definitely got a little bit back when they traded Fraser Minton to the Saskatoon Blades, but it definitely wasn't quite enough. The Blazers definitely could be building more up for the future. Great to see JP Hurlbert signed to camp. Hopefully, who knows? But maybe he might decommit out of college and stay here in Kamloops. I am hearing rumors that him and Tommy Lafreniere are just lighting it up together. They're finding amazing chemistry. And as a Blazers fan, you want to see that, right? And you want to see that for more than just one season, right? Like, what could these two guys do, right?
That's true. I do hear Colton talking an awful lot about Tommy Lafreniere and the player that he's supposed to be for the Blazers. But yeah, I guess maybe this year might be his breakout season.
Yeah, he's got a lot of speed. He's a great two-way forward, and I know that the Edmonton Oilers picked a great one when they got Tommy in this year's draft. Definitely watch out. Like, I mean, Tommy's a very good solidified forward for this core, but maybe the Blazers might ship him out. Like, you just never know. Like, we've seen weirder things happen, but it's very good to see that him and JP are definitely connecting very early on. Like, we're talking like training camp connecting, right? Not even just preseason. As of this recording, that preseason is underway for the WHL season. So I don't know. Weird things have happened, but it's great to see some very good, promising prospects coming up for the Blazers. Definitely excited to see. I know myself, I will be going to quite a few games this season, so watch out.
There's one more team that I kind of want to touch on in this CHL roundup, and it's the team on the wall behind me. The Halifax Mooseheads, they're a really different looking team than last year. They lost their veterans. They lost Brady McBee. They lost Brady Schultz. And probably the most important one of all from the playoff run of last year, Jacob Steinman, he's gone. So they really had to really strip it down and look. And the Mooseheads also lost their coach. They've had 4 head coaches in the last 4 seasons, so that's kind of tough. But without saying that, it still is kind of tough to lose both of your goalies and a bunch of veteran players like that. So the Mooseheads obviously looking a little different. I'll kind of lay it out for you. They've got 2 new goaltenders. One is a 17-year-old Nick Circa. He's 6'3" or 6'4" on skates, possibly. And then Owen Brisson, he came over from the BCHL. So they've got a couple of new guys. Nick Circa only played a handful of games for them last year because Steinman literally carried the load. But Circa and Brisson should be good on the back end. On the blue line, they've got Malik L'Italien and Owen Phillips and Carlos Handel, who just got drafted by the Habs, who I think are going to carry a massive load. They've also got a 15-year-old, Cam Minella. He might turn 16 soon. I'm pretty sure I heard Gareth McDonald say that on the Mooseheads broadcast. So they've got a bunch of new guys, and it's kind of looking different in Halifax. It it's tough to say whether there'll be a contender, a bottom pack team, or like it's really tough to say because they've got a really skilled forward group as well, like with Quinn Kennedy and Sean Carrier, Liam Kilfoyle. Kilfoyle played for Team Canada at the Holenka, and yeah, it really should just be another regrouping year, but there's chances that it might not be that. I don't know. It's tough to say. I don't know if you've heard much or if you know much, Dallas, but that's just how I think about the Halifax Mooseheads. I had to get that out there.
Well, you can think that all you'd like, right? But let's just wind the clocks back a little bit to last year's playoffs, right? They were going up against the number one seed Drummondville Volunteers, right? And just look exactly what Halifax did to them, right? They shocked them, right? With that team, they knew that they were losing quite a bit from the season even before that, right? So I think Halifax still has a great shot in the TELUS Maritimes Conference. I mean, who are they going to really go up against? But I wouldn't lose a lot of sleep over it. Halifax still has a lot of good grit, a lot of good speed, a lot of good skill. Great to see Carlos Hondal really shining. Owen Phillips, like I think the safe choice this season, fellas, is given the seat to Owen Phillips. I think he is definitely the biggest candidate for that Mooseheads locker room. Like, he kind of him and Brady Schultz last season like really clicked. I think he brings a lot of good leadership to the table, and it's just going to carry on to the next guy, right? So, yeah, Owen, I think you're the guy, man.
Yes, sir. Owen Phillips was a guy that I watched come into the league at 16 years old, and he was on that run in 2023 when they obviously lost to the Quebec Grand Prix in the playoffs, but he's been there ever since, and he's a hometown kid as well. I think
Yeah, how do you
Phillips has to be a
how,
shoe in.
how do you not give him the C, right? Like I know just because he's the hometown kid, right? He just automatically gets to see, but it's that's not exactly the case, right? Like he just brings the most heart and hustle. He's more of the I'm gonna put you guys in front of me type of deal. Like it's a we, not a me type of situation, right? And obviously he probably brings a lot of that character to the locker room. So yeah, why not? Why not Owen Phillips, right?
I also brought this up the other day on Twitter. The Mooseheads and Eagles played in a preseason game. I was going through the box score on my way home. I was calling a game with High Button Sports, but which was a crazy game. Steel Subaru and the Weeks Majors, 6-4 in the preseason. There was two fights. I was whoa. Anyways, I was on my way home. I was looking through the box score, and I saw a goal by Elliot Letellier, a goal by Roman Letellier, assisted by Elliot Letellier, or maybe the other way around, vice versa. And then I also saw a goal by Malik Letellier. I was like, oh, wow. That's actually kind of interesting. All three brothers in the same game getting on the score sheet. And it's just kind of funny how that worked out. And obviously, your hometown, or yeah, I guess I could say hometown. Your family's from there. Your hometown Cape Breton Eagles beat up on, I should say beat up. They beat them 3-2, but prevailed over the team on my wall.
Yeah, it's good to see. Definitely a family reunion for sure, but it's definitely talking about some great up and coming prospects. The Italian brothers, watch out! Like this is definitely some good hockey to be seen out in the QMJHL. These guys are proven like they could be some top scorers in the next 2 seasons here. Cape Breton definitely has some questions popping into the 25-26 season. Do I think they'd probably be extremely competitive? Yes. However, they definitely have some questions and some holes to fill, as definitely some of their stars have departed. Zach Bigger, Cam Squires, like there's definitely some voids, but I know that they'll patch them up real quick, and they're going to get out there on the ice and be just as competitive as ever. So I don't know. It's definitely always cool to see the Battle of Halifax always get underway. I know the other day we were just chatting like maybe it's a possibility that we can get out there to the Maritimes, all of us as at GDT, to catch a Battle of Nova Scotia game, and I think that'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think that'd be sick. Usually they do it on, is it New Year's Eve and then New Year's Day? Possibly, I
I know
think.
they do it usually on New
Oh,
Year's Eve, and then the game I was looking at the Center 200 in Sydney was for March 6th. But either
okay.
way you look at it, like we definitely have to get the boys out to the East Coast. I mean, as they alluded to, it's definitely something new, something fresh. They haven't been all the way that east. So, I mean, either way you look at it, if we're going to go to Halifax, if we're going to go to Cape Breton, like you're just going to have a blast. Like you and I were shooting off ideas to the gents, and they were really feeling it as well. Like you can make a lot of good day trips. There's a lot to do in Nova Scotia. So, yeah, it'd be great. Catch some great Quebec Maritimes junior hockey in either Sydney or Halifax. So it's definitely exciting. So everybody tune in for that whenever we do decide, because that is going to be very fun. We'll definitely get a lot of content in for you guys. And yeah, I mean, I'm stoked. I mean, I've seen an Eagles game before, but I've never been to a Halifax Mooseheads game, so it's definitely gonna be exciting. I'm super pumped.
I will tell you right now, it's the most professional atmosphere in junior hockey. Going to a Halifax Mooseheads game.
Oh yeah, and they have a tremendous arena, right?
Most
Scotiabank
people,
Center.
most people actually say the arena's bad. If you're not from
Really?
here, the layout is kind of bum. Uh, they need more washrooms. I, there was this one was probably on me. This one was probably on me. I was at the World Juniors, and I was like a two two cider per period guy. By the third period, I needed to pee. So the Moosehead, like the Metro Center, Scotiabank Center now, the layout, obviously, like any rink, you go around, and I was sitting over here in section 26, row J, seat 11. My dumb bum was like, I need to pee. I'll wait 5 minutes, see what happens in this game, even though they're down 5-2 to the Czechs. And I waited too long, and I went up the stairs, up the stairs, up the stairs. Check this bathroom. This bathroom was closed, so I had to go all the way around the concourse, down the stairs, down another set of stairs, into the long, long line in the bathroom. I finally made it into the bathroom, and I like literally by the. I'm sorry to the concierge.
Yikes. Yeah, so me and my mom and my dad, we always used to drive down every summer to see their parents back in Cape Breton. But the last time I was there was probably like 2019 when me and my dad just drove up with my dog. And just the weirdest moment happened, right? So like we're getting out of New Brunswick, we're heading out to Nova Scotia, and at the border where it says "Welcome to Nova Scotia," I just seen a couple of fellas just T-posing, just standing there at the sign, just T-posing. It was the most randomest thing I have ever fucking seen in my life.
What's a T pose?
You've never seen a T-pose?
Like just literally like this?
They were just doing that. It was just the most randomest thing I've ever seen, and I made sure I had to get photo proof. I'm like, dude, you gotta see this because no one would believe me.
By
But
like the lighthouse sign?
yeah, the lighthouse sign, yeah.
It just says welcome to Nova. Yeah.
It was so weird. But just getting back on track here. Speaking of Nova Scotia, yeah, like how fun would it be for all of us to just come out there? It'd be awesome. Like, but I think that people who are from the outside that go to these QMJHL barns shouldn't really exactly have a say because maybe these guys are from like, the bigger cities in Ontario or out west where they're treated to like these bigger barns, like, the Oil Kings, they get to play at Rogers Place or, the Hamilton used to play at the First Ontario Center, and that was probably one of the biggest arenas in all of Ontario. But even like the Calgary Hitmen, they play at the Saddle Dome. But the QMJHL, as it stands, has a lot of the smallest burns, and I think they get they're very undervalued from outside fans, and I don't think it's really good in my sense because these are a lot of the these are a lot of the smaller markets in the league, and they definitely have a lot of passionate fan bases. And they don't deserve to get shit on as much as they do, right? Like let's think of Bay Camo, fantastic club, fantastic hockey club, but they have one of the smaller arenas. So does Valdor. But you know what? These are passion hockey fan bases and great clubs. And, I kind of wish that, the league would kind of be a little bit more lenient and let more of these teams host some bigger events, right? Like the Memorial Cup or even an outdoor game or, even like a CHL top prospects game presented by Kubota. Like, I don't know. But that's just me. Like, I don't think anyone can just say, yeah, this fucking barn's just, so run down in that. Like, I don't know. Like, just thinking about, the Scotiabank Center, like, I think it's one of the nicest. It's one of the biggest in the league if you're comparing it to a lot of these.
Okay, first off, Riley Harrison, we're talking to you. Second of all, um, yes, the Metro Center is probably Scotiabank Center, sorry, probably the nicest, second nicest barn in the league. Although I have not been there yet, and I shame myself for not having been there because it's literally a 4-hour drive away. But I think I might put the Avenir Center in Moncton above the Metro Center just for like looks and cosmetics, but like they don't have the in-game presentation. They don't have as many like devoted fans. Like they don't have the professional atmosphere. Like Halifax has like the lower bowl and then the upper bowl goes up and then like the skybox is kind of a circle around you and it makes you feel like it's just such a like a I can't explain it. I've been to a Marlies game, and the Marlies game wasn't even as good as the friggin' as the Scotiabank Center experience. Like the World Juniors in Halifax, I don't know how to explain to people, but it it was like such a small arena, but there's so many people and getting so loud. It could have blown the roof off of, like the place. I don't like that place gets going. It gets crazy loud, and they've added like the Simon Group, Simon Family Sports has done so much for that. They have the moose up in the stands, and it like glows red eyes and glows green eyes, and it blows smoke out the nose, and then they put the LED lights all around the stanchions like the Vancouver Canucks have, and they glow like, oh, it's just top tier,
Nothing,
top
yeah,
tier.
nothing is without its flaws, guys. Let's be honest here. But you can compare the smallest barn to the biggest barn, like the Videotron or the Scotiabank Center, and compare with like a place like Val d'Or or Chicoutimi. But I honestly think like every burn's unique, every team is unique, and we should all appreciate it. But here's my thing as well, is that maybe the league should really look into a meeting with the owners of these clubs and really say, hey, let's all kind of help you out with some upgrades so you guys are able to get more fans, more engagement. Like, you don't have to have the flashiest in game, or sorry, in arena, you know lighting, or mid game presentations, or nothing like that, but just get enough so you guys can bring your capacity up, host these bigger events, and bring more junior hockey fans. Because guess what, it's probably, to me personally, like, junior hockey is probably the most prestigious and biggest thing we have here, aside from the CFL, right? Like, I know there's the CFL, but a lot of these smaller market teams like really follow their junior team. And I think having a Memorial Cup come to like Chicoutimi or Val d'Or or Drummondville, like, this needs to happen. I don't want to see Rimouski get it again, right? They've had it, since 2009. So that's 15 years ago. And then Halifax had it, 2000, 2019. Like, there's definitely a smaller window for these teams to get it again, right? And it's always the same few names being pulled out of the hat, per se. So I want to see a team like Chicoutimi, or even, Val d'Or, even like, yeah, Shawinigan. It'd be kind of cool to see it. They hosted in 2012. Um, I don't know, Sherbrooke maybe could host it. Definitely, like I was saying, the league probably wouldn't approve of it because of the facility. But let's start getting these teams up to date with being able to host these premier events, right? The most prestigious tournament in all of junior hockey. Like, let's go.
Two of the best barns in the QMJHL. I'll throw it out there. Not the biggest, not the flashiest, but the barn in Rouyn-Noranda where the Huskies play. Can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it looks like a dome on the inside. The fans are on top of you, and then probably the barn that I want to go to the most. I don't know why I haven't yet. It's only like a 13, 14 hour drive maybe. Uh, the Centre Marcel Dion in Drummondville.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I wasn't in Toronto, I probably like when the Mooseheads were playing the Voltigeur, I probably would have just drove up and been like, "All right, Mom, see you tomorrow. I'm going to Drummondville." You know?
Yeah. And the Marcel Dion Center, good place too. But let's get a Memorial Cup in there, right? Like, I don't know. I
Yeah,
know, like,
it's too small. For a
and
Memorial Cup final, they want to pack it, and they want at least like 4 or 5 thousand people in there. I think you could if you packed it standing, but like not as much concession. Like it's tough. It is tough for these small barns, so that's why they, like you said, need upgrades.
And we're seeing now, for the first time since 2008, the Kitchener Rangers now has a chance to host the 2027 Memorial Cup, right? Like, back at the odd, like, and they're going up against the second finalist, the Guelph Storm. Like, and I think it's almost a little bit of a surprise that Slush Puppy Place, Kingston Frontenacs, won't be being named a finalist. The Meridian Center in Niagara, like, the Ice Dogs, they're not going to get it. And even like the the owner of the Sioux Greyhounds, right? Like they weren't even going to be placing a bid. And I love GFL Memorial Arena up there in the Sioux. Like these are some good facilities and good teams. Like I don't, I don't want to be seeing the same teams being pulled out of the hat anymore, man. Like let's start getting some new teams in this mix. It's getting boring, I think, a little bit. As much as I love CHL, as much as I love the Memorial Cup, it's getting boring almost seeing these same host cities. And I don't want to see a decentralized tournament as well, where it's just going to be hosted in one place every season as well. I never want to hear that out of someone's mouth. Absolutely no way, right? Guelph could be a good place too. Love the city. They got a great facility there, but I don't know. It's just London. I don't want to see you in the mix for another 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, just what do you think, Day? Like, is it just becoming too repetitive? Like, especially in the queue, your kind of market out there out east. Like, it's just the same team just over and over again. Do you
Yeah,
think the owner should really buy into this? The owner should really buy into this and start saying, "Hey, okay, let's put our foot down. Let's upgrade our facilities. Let's get this going."
I do. I don't think it generates enough money to make a difference for these smaller teams, and I think these smaller teams are like if you're Valdor, like no, you know that your city has to be in on this. The city of Valdor has to make changes. The city of Valdor has to be in financially to host 4 different hockey teams, thousands of people.
But you're
But
gonna be,
but
yeah,
yeah, I would love to see teams like bring a Memorial Cup to St. John's. Why not? Yes,
right,
skipper. Yes, bye. Throw one out there, by. Let's get a Memorial Cup on the rock, by. Yes.
right, yeah. Like, don't be surprised if you see Newfoundland already, a few seasons in, they're already placing their next
I,
Q bid for.
I will say if it's Newfoundland, they will kill you.
Fair,
They will kill you.
fair enough. If they, in their young franchises, in their young franchises identity, right? Like just already placing a bid for the 2029 season. Like maybe even Penticton might even, a brand new franchise already placing their bid for the next time the WHL rolls around. Will everybody get pissed out here out west if another British Columbia team puts in a bid? Probably, but I don't know.
Definitely. Well, maybe soon we'll have to come up with a video. Maybe we'll explain and maybe predict some possible cities for the next round of Memorial Cups for each league.
But they're going to be winning. The city, if they collab with these teams, they're going to be coming out winning on top, right? Because think of how many droves of fans and people are coming from all across the country to support the local businesses, right? They're getting their hotels, they want to go to restaurants, they want to do a little bit of shopping, right? Like it generates a lot of revenue and it's going to bring a lot of people together. And this is why I think the Memorial Cup coming to certain cities will be important, right? For these smaller markets. Like the league should bring down the leniency a little bit and just let them to be allowed to host.
Definitely, definitely. I think there's always room for improvement, and there's always room for smaller teams to make the jump. But yeah, fellas, you let us know what city should be in the mix for Memorial Cup, whether it be the WHL, whether it be the OHL, whether it be the QMJHL. Put it down in the comments and let us know because, like I said, Dally and I will definitely have to hop on here and do a video. We'll break it down, we'll do some predicting, and we'll see which cities are actually best fit for a Memorial Cup. Ones that haven't had one in the recent years, but could probably do a little bit of upgrading and maybe get one not too soon. But Dallas, is there anything that you wanted to touch on before we wrap up?
Yeah, there actually was Dayton. I just kind of wanted to touch on the Blainville Armada, right? Like, do you predict that they probably have the best chances of making it out of the QMJHL this season, right? Like, you could look at years past saying, "Yep,
I
this is
think
the
they have
top."
the best. I think they have the best roster in the CHL.
Oh, 1,000% they do. But you can have the best roster on paper, right? But do they always go out to perform? Not all the time. Now I'm thinking like, is there really a sleeper that you could really think like, hey, maybe Blainville's got a lot of competition, right? Like how is it kind of looking out there in the queue? Like, are we looking at a potential, upset come playoff time and 7 months, or what are you thinking, Daeden?
To be honest, I think it's either Blainville or Moncton. Moncton's got a team full of Americans, and they're probably ready to come pump some Canadian boys. But yeah, that's
And
what
they
I
got a
think.
lot of returning play. They got some returning players too, right, from that Memorial Cup squad. So watch out. I mean, I would love to see Blainville win it. I mean, they're definitely hungry for a championship. This franchise, so yeah, it's gonna be great to see. They've obviously put all their chips in the hat. They went out and made some big trades, like that one with the Huskies, Ren to Huskies for Bill Zonin. So Pittsburgh Penguins draft pick right there from this past draft, and I'm excited to see if it's going to be the Blainville Armada out of the queue this season. That's who I'm rooting for, at least.
Well, Dallas is rooting for the Blainville Brosbury Armada, and I'm rooting for you to subscribe, smash the like button, and share this episode around because Dallas and I just went off the dome for 50 minutes talking about the CHL, and I want to know if you guys enjoyed it. So let me know down in the comments if you want more of these. We'll do maybe some weekend or midweek CHL breakdowns or recaps before the set of games of the next weekend. And yeah, let us know what else we should be covering if you want to see any little segments that Dally or I could do. I think this was a good idea. Hey, Dally?
Oh yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I definitely would like to start getting into some more junior hockey. The CGHL, quite a lot of leagues in there too. As Dade alluded to earlier, the Estevan Bruins plays in the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. Like, there are some
I'll
premier destinations for a lot of good hockey
I'll
that
have
you
to get
guys open your eyes to.
I'll have to get my buddy to come on and give us a breakdown of the Battleford's North Stars. Shout out Ryan Lambert, buddy from Milton, Ontario, making the trek all the way out to Battleford's, moving his life out, and he's gonna be commentating, doing some play-by-play on Flow Hockey for the Battleford's North Stars. So shout out Lambo.
Shout out to Flow Hockey too, real quick, for getting the OHL on board too for their streaming service.
Big time, big time. It's good for everyone. It's good for everyone.
It is. I'm loving it.
Well, fellas, thank you for tuning into this one. This is a special episode of Game Day Tarps. Daeden Dallas back at you. Follow us both. Follow me, Kamo Daeden, on Twitter, and follow Dallas wherever you can follow him. Why don't you let them know?
You can follow us at Game Day Tarps Podcast, or you can follow me on Instagram at that new guy Dally.
Yes, sir. There you go. We'll be back with another one. Keep it locked on GDT wherever you are. Audio versions, YouTube, even on the Twitter. We're pretty active on the Twitter and on the TikTok. This guy over here is firing off graphics all the time. So keep an eye out, and we'll see you next time.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into another episode over here on the Hockey Podcast Network and Game Day Tarps Podcast. We've got so much more for you. We've got lots cooking. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and smash that notification bell so you never miss a beat. For myself and the other guys over here at Game Day Tarps, we'll see you next time.